Welcome to UK Theme Parks and welcome down to Clarence Pier. It's our first closed season update. Kindly been invited down to have a little look around, and you know what I'm like during closed season. I'm an absolute nightmare to these places because I just love them. I absolutely love coming down and seeing what they're doing, and Clarence Pier have kindly let me come in and have a little look. So we're going to show you some shots of what's going on during the closed season and the work and effort they put into getting the rides prepared for testing, and then after testing how they're getting prepared to, you know, get reopened again for next year. And it might seem quite a long way away, but it's really not. We're sort of approaching now the middle of November. These parks will be opening in just a few months' time again, and there's lots and lots of work to do, as you will see in this video. First, we'll say, obviously, we'll address the fact that the Jumping Frogs and the Freak Out have left. They were here for the season. Will they be back for next year? Well, you just have to stay tuned and find out over the closed season. But I'm sure there'll be some new developments this year. So let's take you into the workshop. We're going to show you some of the work ongoing, and then we'll come back out into the park and show you all the things going on at the park. Inside the Twister cars. When you think of the year that these go through, look how pristine it is. So clean. And then ready for testing. The basis for the wild mouse. Again, when you think of all the work that goes into these all year. So these are actually already tested. These are ready to be rebuilt. Now, in the other workshop is a little bit longer. There's a little bit more going on, so I'm trying to figure out which bit's which. However, we have gallopers first. The galloper is the pride and joy of Clarence Pier, and as we can see, the red, you'll see a lot of red has been done. So these are all tested. These are all ready to go. This could be built up and reopened as quickly as they can build it. So red has been done, gold is to be done, and you can see in the background there the waltzer plates and things. I'm being very careful not to get covered in red paint, and you can see, you know, the work and effort that goes into these. Really noticeable on these bits because you can see what's been done and where they've got up to. So it's not just a case of take these apart, test them, throw them back together. It's take them apart, get them all looking fantastic again for next season before the ride's put back together. Now these are the couplings between the cars of Tidal Wave, the SBF spinning coaster, and this is the whole, I mean, when you think about it, this is what's holding the train together, completely stripped back, obviously tested. And a bug arm as well. Do you like the bug arm? So these are from the waltzer, and I find more interesting here. I mean, these are the drive plates underneath that the tyres kind of make it go round. They are an essential part of the ride, but I find it more interesting. I was just saying here that you don't see these. These aren't visible to the naked eye, and yet they're taken back. You know, ignore the fact they're tested, because obviously they need to be tested. They're repainted, like completely repainted before going back on. These are things that the public don't physically see, not the painting of them, they just don't physically see them, and yet the effort's gone in to doing them, which is incredible. And these are original as well. These are, I think the waltzer's nearly pushing 40 years old, and you wouldn't think that when you look at it. Anyone that's looked at our videos wouldn't think it's that old. Right, so you'll see some more galloper bits here. These should be quite obvious for people that's kind of looked at rides what these are. But these are actually the brakes for the big coaster. These are the main brakes for the big coaster, which you see there and here, which again you can see they've been stripped back and tested. Still waiting for some paint. These are freshly painted. I mean, it's just incredible to see these off, and these are quite long as well. These aren't small by any means. These are really long. And then we have some more galloper bits here, which again are being redone as we speak. Right, so we are back outside now. we just have to point out it's really windy out here, so we're kind of on the cover now, but it might get windy. So these are the arms for the seals, another pride and joy of Clarence Pier. Again, ready to go back together, and we will take you now kind of through the park and show you the rest of it as well, including the seals and the bugs, because it's quite interesting that we've seen the bits and pieces in there which are ready to go back on, but obviously the rides are still out here. They're all still built up. You see the twister built up, you can see the waltzer built up, you can sort of see the carousel built up, but that is actually used as a bit of storage with the 2 coasters and the log flume as well, and everything is out and about ready. It's a bit of a miserable day here in Portsmouth, but we'll do the best we can. The twist cars sit ready while the twist undergoes work. So light panels come from the back of the car, are taken off in the de-assembly, and you can see obviously the mechanisms, you can see the safety belt as well for it. You've got the blue ones, purple ones, and of course the green ones here. Back out into the wide world here, where it is a bit windy. Here is the coaster. Now, as you know, the coaster is stripped down. You've seen the bases of the cars. The tops of the cars are kept somewhere else. Of course, they've all gone in for testing. You've seen the brakes as well, so you know there's absolutely nothing about this that's operationally ready, as you can expect. It's all wrapped up, all the control system, everything is wrapped up for winter. Lovely little coaster, this one, lovely little coaster. And of course out here you can see tested, ready. The white paint is a good example. He just kind of explained to us exactly how it works. We know they spray it and it can highlight and cracks and things, but they spray it, it's compressed. It's sprayed with something else. They're also using now UV lighting as well to find cracks and things. And as you can see, all of this is absolutely fine. You know I love closed season, I absolutely love closed season. And of course last year when you were here, for anyone that followed the updates, the waltzer was completely stripped apart. So this year it doesn't have to be stripped apart. There was a lot of work done on it last year. But as you can see, again, this is all, you know, it's freshly painted. So the running wheels, which will go round, the running plates which you saw, which will go around here for the running wheels, is all painted. But all of this is just really well maintained, and yet you just don't see it. Like, as a public eye, you don't see it. It's not the fact you don't see them doing it, you just don't see it. But the care and attention that goes into it is just magnificent. It's a real credit to the park and the dedication they've got of giving everyone the absolute best experience when they come down to Clarence Pier. It was a good year this year as well. It was a really good year this year, and the rides just look and kept in fantastic condition. Right, we'll put the light on a bit because it is dark, and it's dark anyway, and it's supposed to be dark in here. But this is inside the twister. Now the reason I show this is that I have never seen it folded before. It is currently folded up. I've never seen it folded before. Obviously it gets folded for testing purposes and everything, but I've never seen it folded. Which is brilliant, absolutely is. Over this side you've got the waltzer canopies which go around the outside. Obviously we saw the front splash in the shed, and you've got the waltzer uprights down here as well. But yeah, never seen it. Never seen it folded up. Oh, magnificent. And of course the waltzer cars. Just in case you're wondering where the waltzer cars are, these are big old beasts to be fair, so it's not quite as easy to store those. The soaker that is the log flume. I've never noticed that chicken before. That's really bad of me, isn't it? Or the egg. Never noticed it. Never noticed it, but just while we got the log flume up here, strip back, ready to roll. Close season work at its finest, at its finest. We've seen quite a lot of the bugs, as there's bits and pieces of it inside the workshop being worked on. You saw the arm in there as well, which is waiting to come back out. So they have been putting the bugs back together, which is what they were doing when we got here today. So that's going back together now. That was one of the new rides for 2023. So the other arm that's missing there is the one that we saw in the workshop, which makes perfect sense. The teacups, I'm told, are completely done. I mean, I say completely done, there's no teacups on them. They're completely done, completely ready, that if the cups went back on, this could reopen straight away with no problems. I'll try and show the cups, they're actually down the bottom, well, I say down the bottom, they're in the carousel area. The pride and joy that is the seals. Again, we've seen the seals. The actual seals themselves are again in the carousel area. The dodgems get folded away from the elements. And of course, around the corner here, the upside down house, which will be returning for 2024. Complete with lights and everything. And then of course, Tidal Wave, the SBF spinning coaster. So we've seen the cars, we've seen the chassis for the cars, they're in the workshop, they're being worked on. As you can see, well actually you can't see so much from this side, you can see with this one here, all the motors and everything are all covered, the electrics are all covered, the control panel, everything is all covered up for the winter months with the really harsh Portsmouth sea. And it is really harsh as well, especially with the hovercraft coming in and out. But again, you want to get close to these rides. There's Tidal Wave. You see little eyes come out, look. You see the little eyes come out. Enjoying the winter indoors. As always, a massive thank you to Clarence Pier for inviting me down for a look around. I've had to do the outro at home because it's really dark outside and you wouldn't have seen a thing. So we've had a look around the park and its closed season procedures. It's really fascinating to see. You know, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Not only the work that goes in then into stripping these rides ready for testing, just kind of the basics, but also the sprucing up of them, the maintenance of them, the painting of them, starting to put them back together and everything they have to go through. And even seeing the things you don't see on camera as well, like, the separation of bolts and parts and things into containers, and just the sheer amount of stuff is just incredible. It absolutely is. At the end there, you saw a sneak peek down at where the carousel horses are stored for the winter. Nice sleigh feet tucked away. So yeah, again, huge thank you for Clarence Pier for having us down there to have a look around. They know it's my favourite time of the year, and it really, really is. But from UK Theme Parks, if you've liked it, please, please, please drop it a like. We'll see you next time.